India is well known around the world owing to its historical background, diverse cultures and interesting traditions. Its ancient scriptures and texts have been the way of life of its people for thousands of years. Today, the country is taking huge strides in various fields like arts and science, paving a way towards a progressive India. So friends, I am your host Eshabas, and today in our episode of My India, we'll take a look at some of the stories that very well showcase the unique culture and prosperity of our country, stretching from Himalayas to Kanyakumari. In India, every festival, be it of Hindus, Muslims, Sikhs or Christians, is celebrated with immense gusto. But this year, the coronavirus pandemic has just taken away the sheen from every festivity, as people can neither organize huge gatherings nor can step outside to celebrate the occasion. Recently, Eid ul-Fitr, which is marked by large meals and other festivities, was also observed in solitude by the country's Muslims. Have a look.
The Muslims across India celebrated Eid ul-Fitr in silence this year due to the lockdown imposed by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi to curb the spread of coronavirus. Though the rules have been relaxed in areas with low numbers of cases, only a few shoppers wearing masks were seen otherwise in crowded markets. In New Delhi, the iconic Jama Masjid area saw a little crowd. However, it was nothing as compared to the number of people turning up every year to shop with the festival being around the corner.
मार्केट के हालात तो अभी बिल्कुल बहुत ही कम है, कस्टमर वगैरह भी बहुत कम आ रहा है और हम भी यहाँ पर बहुत ध्यान रख रहे हैं सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग का। और लॉकडाउन की वजह से रास्ते भी ब्लॉक हैं, कस्टमर भी बहुत कम आ रहे हैं और माल भी बहुत कम है।
The fear of coronavirus was felt deep in India on Eid as mosque courtyards remained deserted and there was a gloomy silence in the otherwise bustling markets. While in Amritsar city of Punjab, only a few devotees offered namaz following social distancing rules. At other places too, the usual festive atmosphere was missing, with mosques remaining closed and devotees staying indoors.
सन्नाटा है, हर साल बहुत शोर रहता था। इस साल क्यों बोले तो अपने कोरोना वायरस चल रहा ना, हम लोग खुद सोशल डिस्टेंस मेंटेन करके घर में नमाज़ पढ़ लिए। क्यों बोले तो कोरोना वायरस बहुत तब्दीली से फैल रहा है।
Eid ul-Fitr is believed to be celebrated on the first day of Shawwal, the 10th month of Islamic lunar calendar. The celebration depends on the sighting of the moon, and its celebration varies in different countries. The day begins with early morning prayers and then family visits and feasts. Though the festival is marked by huge gatherings every year, but this time, amid coronavirus outbreak, devotees preferred offering namaz at their residences to mark the auspicious occasion.
Having regards for the beliefs and traditions of every religion, this is what our Indian culture has taught us for ages. At present, when the whole country is battling with the coronavirus, several examples can be found that are still keeping this culture intact. One among them is Mata Vaishno Devi Shrine Board in Katra area of Jammu and Kashmir that has not just quarantined hundreds of Muslims but even made special arrangements for them during the month of Ramadan.
Epitomizing communal harmony, the Sri Mata Vaishno Devi Shrine Board was working overnight to provide sehri and iftari to around 500 Muslims quarantined at Ashirwad Bhavan in Katra. Sehri is a small meal taken before the sunrise, while iftari is taken after the fast ends at the sunset during the holy month of Ramadan. The shrine even did special arrangements for the Muslims on the occasion of Eid that celebrates the end of holy month of fasting with large meals and other festivities.
जो क्वारंटाइन सेंटर था डिस्ट्रिक्ट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन रिक्वेस्ट पे हमने एस्टैब्लिश किया था, वहाँ डिस्ट्रिक्ट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन ही उसको मैनेज कर रही थी, उसको जितने भी लोग वहाँ पे ला रहे थे। तो पहले चल रहा था खाने का तरीका सब, फिर जब रमज़ान शुरू हुआ तो कुछ लोगों की वहाँ से रिक्वेस्ट आई कि यहाँ पर कुछ मुस्लिम भाई है, तो उनको जो खाने का शेड्यूल है वो उस तरीके से सूट नहीं होता, जिनको थोड़ा सा चेंज किया जाए जैसे अर्ली मॉर्निंग का सहरी और इफ्तार के लिए। फिर हमने उसको जो जितने भी मुस्लिम भाई थे उनके लिए उस तरीके से अकोमोडेट किया कि जिससे सुबह सहरी उपलब्ध आ जाए, शाम को इफ्तार।
The migrant labourers had come to Jammu and Kashmir from different parts of the country in special Shramik trains and buses to Udhampur town, which is about 40 kilometers from Katra, where they are staying. The Shrine Board has spent around Rs 80 lakh on providing food to the needy since March 28 in various quarantine centres at Katra. It has also spent around Rs 1.5 crore in aiding the COVID-19 response.
हमारी कोशिश ये रही है कि यहाँ पर जो भी जितने भी क्वारंटाइन सेंटर में आए उनको अच्छी तरीके से हम भोजन उपलब्ध करवाएं और अच्छे तरीके से रह पाएं।
The Sri Mata Vaishno Devi Shrine is one of the most revered Hindu shrines and is also the second richest after Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanams in India. All facilities of the Shrine Board in Katra are well maintained and pilgrims from across the country prefer them over hotels for their cleanliness, hygienic food, comfortable bedding and hospitable staff.
Now, a roundup of some of the major stories that made news recently.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced a 500 crore rupees aid package for cyclone-hit Odisha during his recent visit to the state. Modi, along with Odisha Chief Minister Naveen Patnaik, surveyed parts of the state from a helicopter, looking down on acre upon acre of land swamped with flood waters.
तत्काल आवश्यकता को ध्यान में रखते हुए भारत सरकार की तरफ से 500 करोड़ रुपया एडवांस व्यवस्था के रूप में देने का हमने निर्णय किया है।
Earlier in the day, Modi also announced an emergency aid of 10 billion to help the cyclone's hardest hit West Bengal state. Amphan originally started as a super cyclone with wind speeds reaching over 230 km per hour, the equivalent of a category 5 hurricane, but it weakened after making landfall into a very severe cyclone as it moved inland through Bangladesh. Government of Manipur has allocated special quarantine center for transgender separate from both men and women. Sanju and a few others like her will be quarantined at the facility for a period of 14 days. For now, the total capacity of all the transgender quarantine centers in the state is 45, but it can further be increased if needed.
ꯌꯥꯝ ꯍꯔꯥꯎꯕ ꯅꯨꯡꯉꯥꯏꯕ ꯐꯥꯎꯋꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗꯤ ꯅꯨꯄꯤ ꯃꯔꯛꯇꯁꯨ ꯅꯨꯄꯥ ꯃꯔꯛꯇꯁꯨ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯑꯃꯗ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯤ ꯅꯨꯄꯤ ꯃꯔꯛꯇ ꯆꯪꯖꯔ ꯂꯩꯕꯁꯨ ꯅꯨꯡꯉꯥꯏꯖꯗꯦ ꯅꯨꯄꯥ ꯃꯔꯛꯇ ꯆꯪꯖꯔ ꯂꯩꯕꯁꯨ ꯅꯨꯡꯉꯥꯏꯖꯗꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯇꯣꯉꯥꯟꯅ ꯁꯨꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤꯗꯃꯛꯇ ꯇ꯭ꯔꯥꯟꯁꯀꯤꯗꯃꯛꯇ ꯇꯣꯉꯥꯟꯅ ꯁꯦꯄꯔꯦꯠ ꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯊꯝꯕꯤꯕꯁꯦ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯊꯤꯅ ꯅꯨꯡꯉꯥꯏꯕ ꯍꯔꯥꯎꯕ ꯅꯨꯡꯉꯥꯏꯕ ꯐꯥꯎꯋꯦ.
Although the government relaxed the rules of lockdown in its fourth phase, those who are returning home from other cities are required to have mandatory 14-day quarantine. Dressing up as a clown and performing to a crowd. It's the best way Sheetal Agarwal can think of to lift the spirits of migrant workers staying in New Delhi shelters during a nationwide lockdown to slow the spread of coronavirus. During a recent visit to a shelter housing hundreds of workers, she and her sister danced in a hula hoop and joked around with families and police officers.
we are going to shelter home, where there are a lot of migrants staying right now because of the lockdown who could not go back to their places, and they're confined to these closed spaces where they are placed. So we are going to cheer them up, because we feel that if staying at home we can be so unhappy or so sad and stressed, then their level of stress would be very high, considering they're not even with their families, or they really are worried about the families back home. So we thought it will be wonderful if we can bring a smile on their faces and distract them from the pain that they are feeling.
The 34-year-old counsellor was first inspired to bring cheer to children in hospitals after meeting a medical clown at a workshop about 4 years ago. She plunged wholeheartedly into the vocation, first training herself and then forming a group of similar-minded volunteers loosely following the path of the Hollywood movie Patch Adams. The country's strict lockdown measures, such as severing transport links, have taken a toll on the nation's estimated 100 million migrant workers, triggering an exodus from cities where they worked in garment factories, building sites and brick kilns.
Today in our section of Eshabas, we will see how Japan is leaving no stone unturned in supporting its citizens amid the COVID-19 pandemic. On one hand, a Japanese aviation company is providing its support by producing medical treatment gowns and face shields, and on the other, Tokyo Metropolitan Corporation is using robots to extend its service to people quarantined at hotels. We have a report.
Amid coronavirus crisis, world aviation companies are suffering due to decrease in passengers and air flights. But even in this scenario, All Nippon Airways has decided to provide its support by producing medical treatment gowns and face shields. It is providing its staff with every facility and is taking measures to ensure that the working place is clean and safe. Even in the air inside every workroom is changed regularly so as to avoid infection, further helping to implement Japan's method of social distancing, which is based on avoiding 3 C's. The 3 C's here refer to closed space with poor ventilation, crowded place with many people nearby, and close contact setting such as close-range conversations.
はじめに医療用ガウンにつきましては政府から要請がございまして、私どもとしてもこの国の有事に対して何らかの形で社会貢献ができれば良いというふうに考えまして協力を申し出ました。初めてやった人でも何か対応できるような業務はないかというようなことで検討を重ねまして法制のプロの方がやられるところの補佐ということで今回私たちの担当を決めさせていただいております。
ANA is supporting Japanese sewing company in producing medical gowns so as to meet the supply requirements of the item and extend its help in the fight against the coronavirus. The plan is to produce 50,000 gowns by June.
日本の縫製の職人さんからするとこういうガウンを作ること自体は技術的には全く問題なくて作ることはできると思うんですけどもメディカルなものですからやっぱり衛生的な部分っていうのは一番配慮をしています。で品質っていうのはすごく大切でもしかすると一つの小さな穴から感染が広がる可能性もあるというところを注意しながら行っています。
ANA will also cooperate with Japanese manufacturer in making medical face shield. Thanks to the help from business like ANA, that healthcare frontline workers will not fall short of equipments that they need to work safely.
先週だけでだいたい約3万枚ぐらいのご要望をいただいております。で、弊社のマンパワーだけですとなかなか納期がかかってしまいますので、今回3000枚を ANA さんの方に作業をお願いして非常に助かっております。
ANA's bold decision to produce medical gowns and face shields reflects a strong desire to see passengers returning back to travel.
私たちが世界中、国内中移動できるようなまた状況になればいいなということ、これの将来を私たちは願って今作業をしているところでございます。
The plan is to produce 50,000 gowns by June to help in the fight against the coronavirus. This sincere effort will certainly have great impact. Next, we will see how robots are becoming vital in helping Japan in its fight against coronavirus pandemic. Recently, the Tokyo Metropolitan Government unveiled robots that will be used in 2 hotels accommodating patients infected with the novel coronavirus. The aim is to efficiently clean the hotel which accepts a symptomatic patient or those having light symptoms so as to decrease the burden of staff.
やはり日本の誇るロボットの技術というものをしっかり使って、ホテルでの快適な生活を実現していきたいと思っております。
To help with hospitality, humanoid robot welcomes patients in the hotel lobby. This robot is designed to connect, assist, and share knowledge with them. Another robot is fully autonomous vacuum sweeper. It is powered by artificial intelligence that recognizes QR code and can map out the entire floor plan after one full sweep.
Of course, having the floor clean makes minimize the risk of getting affected to other guys. And for the humanoid robot, because under this situation, many people are dying with coronavirus too, and they are very worried and anxious about what's going on, even though there is not seriously, so they're still in the hotel. But so what the humanoid robot we intended is that kind of cheer up and at least just say, hey, how do you do? Because they're basically not allowed to meet anybody directly. So that's one of the things probably the humanoid robot can help with communication with human beings.
The Tokyo Metropolitan Government has also introduced an app for managing the health condition of patients at the hotel. It allows patients to record their body temperature and other data about the physical condition, making the information more efficient than what the staff member receive by making a phone call to each patient twice a day. The APA Ryokoku Hotel can accommodate about 300 people. 2 nurses are available around the clock, while a doctor is also present during a day. Tokyo Governor Yuriko Koike visited this hotel to interact with robot. Currently, there are 5 locations in Tokyo that make up for 2,800 rooms accepting coronavirus patients. Japan has taken a big step in fighting against the virus, and with the support of robots and hotels, patients are made to feel more relaxed. Moreover, the technology is also helping them to recover and prevent the spread of infection.
There can be no better way to celebrate Eid than to spread happiness by helping others. This kind of Eid was recently observed by a locality in Kerala's Alappuzha district, where locals belonging to different communities came together to collect money for surgery of a 36-year-old man. This year, as Muslims could not celebrate the festival in a grand manner amid coronavirus outbreak, locals here chose to celebrate it with a touch of communal harmony. The streets of Vatayal locality in Kerala's Alappuzha district were lying almost barren this Eid al-Fitr due to coronavirus lockdown. As Muslims in the area did not go for any grand celebrations this year, adhering to lockdown norms, they chose to pass on the hat for the noble cause, which was also joined by their Hindu and Christian neighbors and fully supported by Valiokulam Juma Masjid. These people belonging to different faiths got united to collect money for the surgery of a 36-year-old man, Muhammad Rafi, whose both kidneys have failed, thereby spreading a message of communal harmony along with generosity on Eid.
We are always standing for the communal amity. There is no religion here, only human relationship. We are so many people, so many religions are there, Muslims, Hindus, Christians. That does not matter. But we are living as brothers and sisters. We believe in secularism. We want a communal amity. So when something happening adverse to a person, we don't see whether which caste he belongs. But we are having humanity. Our movie is behind humanity. So it is our maiden duty, the important duty, to help the people who are in distress.
On the festive day, this group of Samaritans visited every household in order to seek donation for Rafi, whose surgery requires 25 lakhs rupees. Rising above religious lines, the locals too gave them a warm welcome and donated wholeheartedly. There were many who even cancelled their plans to buy costly dresses and have lavish meals on Eid to contribute for this noble cause.
अपना खाना पीना कपड़ा सब इसको कम करके ये छोकरे के लिए इसका दबेर के लिए ऑपरेशन के लिए 35 लाख रुपया के लिए हम सब लोग एक मलिगोलम जुमा मस्जिद का महल निवासी और अपना आलपी का म्यूनिसिपल चेयरमैन श्रीमान इलीगल कुंजुमोन सब लोग मिलके सब पार्टी मिलके सब इंसान मिलके इसको मदद करने के लिए आज निकला हो.
Eid, that has always been a grand affair for the Muslims, was observed in a very somber way this year amid coronavirus outbreak. But the way few people turned it into a noble affair like those in Alapura made it even more meaningful. While the entire world is battling deadly coronavirus, authorities, organizations and individuals have been coming out with a number of creative methods to spread awareness and fight the pandemic. One such way is developed by an engineer in Coimbatore city of Tamil Nadu who has created a robot to fetch groceries and other essential items for him. Have a look. Amid the nationwide lockdown, people are jostling in long queues for shopping essential items like food and groceries. A young man named Karthik Velayutham, however, found a solution to manage this affair. He developed a robot by himself to shop for him.
இந்த ரோபோ பார்த்தீங்கன்னா வேர்ல்டில் நீங்கள் எங்கே இருந்தாலும் கண்ட்ரோல் பண்ணலாம். இன்டர்நெட் அப்புறம் வீடியோ கால் யூஸ் பண்ணி நம்ம கண்ட்ரோல் பண்ணிக்கலாம். அப்புறம் இந்த ரோபோ வந்து ஷாப்பிங்க்கெலாம் யூஸ் பண்ணும்போது நம்ம சோசியல் டிஸ்டன்ஸை வந்து நம்ம மெயின்டைன் பண்ண முடியும். யார் பக்கத்துலேயும் போய் அவங்க பக்கத்தில் நின்று தான் பொருள் வாங்குறத நம்ம வந்து அவாய்ட் பண்ணுறதுக்காக இதை பண்ணியிருக்கோம்.
An engineer in India's southern Coimbatore city, Karthik designed the robot to run errands to help maintain social distancing during the coronavirus pandemic. Built within a time span of 2 days and a small budget of Rs 3,000 only, the robot is a humble machine on a cardboard box resting on a 4-wheeled wooden platform. The robot is performing a crucial job for its creator at a time when social interactions carry the risk of catching the virus.
ஜஸ்ட் பேக் பண்ணி அந்த ரோபோட்டில் வச்சுட்டு அந்த ரோபோட் அப்படியே ஃபுட் பிக்கப் பண்ணிட்டு போயிடுது. ஆஸ் அ கஸ்டமராக ரோபோட்டை வந்து பிக் பண்ணிட்டு போகிறது கொஞ்சம் டிஃப்ரெண்ட்டாகவும் இருக்குது, கொஞ்சம் சர்ப்ரைசிங்காக இருக்குது. இதே மாதிரி ஃப்யூச்சரில் ஃபாலோ பண்ணால் இந்த கொரோனாவிலேருந்து இந்த மாதிரி டிசீஸ்லேருந்து நம்ம கொஞ்சம் ஸ்ப்ரெட்டிங்லேருந்து நம்மளை சேவ் பண்ணிக்கலாம்.
Karthik controls the machine from the comfort of his home and uses the robot's built-in smartphone to send commands via internet. The machine that can carry up to 30 kilograms of weight tells the shopkeeper as to what Karthik wants to buy via video call and pays by means of electronic payment. Karthik is hopeful that the robot can be used for shopping, for police patrolling, and even in situations like fire outbreak where it is dangerous for people to go. That's all we have for you this week. Your comments and suggestions are important to us. Do give us your feedback at myindia@anin.com. I'm your host Shreyasa Vijay, and it's goodbye from the entire production team.